Hi everyone, I'm Arin Thrower with the communications team here at Lake County Government, and I'm joined today by Rebecca Kumar, who is the emergency management specialist here at Lake County. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Erin. Thank you for having me.
So September is National Preparedness Month here in Illinois, and 2020 seems like the perfect year to talk about disaster planning. We know our emergency management team is ready. We know our first responders are always ready for an emergency, but this is really a reminder that's geared towards families. What are some things that families can consider when they're planning for a disaster?
Yeah, for sure. So 2020 has been quite interesting, but here at the Emergency Management Agency, we like to take an all hazards approach to planning for disasters. So it's fitting that this happens to be September, which is National Preparedness Month, as Erin said. So there's parts to this, one for every week. And the first one will be make a plan. You need to take a look at why you should make a plan, but when we have plans, we're less panicked in times of disaster. So I know that this year has felt like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. But however, the more prepared you are for disasters and the more you have a plan and practice the plan and build a kit, which we'll get into, the better it'll go. So you might ask yourself, why should I have a plan, or why should I have a plan for my family? But the less stress you can create, the less stress you have, or the less panic, or know what to do to be prepared for any disasters. So you just want to sit down and have a conversation with your family, with your friends, your roommates, whoever you're going to be closest or whoever you live with, and talk about things like how you would receive emergency alerts if you had to stay home for 72 hours, how you would do that, if you have the things that are necessary for you to stay home. And now, because of COVID and because of the way that things are changing with school systems, some are blended learning, some are fully remote learning, some are in-person learning. You kind of want to know, if you have children in your home, where they are at all times, which all, great people do. So you just kind of want to know what everyone's schedule is and where folks are at all times in your family.
Great.
You need to have an evacuation plan, having contact information for hospitals, emergency contact information. We all love to rely on the technology, but what if the technology isn't available? So we need backup plan for that. Consider the specific needs in your household when building a plan. So again, small children, school-age children, college-age children, maybe you're caring for an elderly parent or relative. Pets are a part of our family, so we need to make sure that we incorporate them into our plans. Any family members that have any special needs, access or functional needs family members, and any specialized equipment that they might need as well needs to go out to your plan. Then you want to fill out an emergency plan. Ready.gov and fema.gov has some great already pre-done plans that you can fill out. So all the work is already done for you. All you have to do is fill in your personalized stuff. And then probably the most important part of a plan is that you need to practice it. So it doesn't do us any good to plan and prepare for something and then never practice it. So remember those fire drills in school, Erin? Like, these are the types of things that you want to do. So it's almost like training your family to handle any type of disaster and emergency. Talk about your family, talk about the plan with your family. And then with all plans, with all drills, in emergency management, we do exercises. So then you want to take a look at what went well, what didn't go so well, and how you can prepare for the next time.
Okay, wonderful. So that first step, make a plan for when it's just really talking about it, getting organized and realizing, hey, let's talk about these and see what our situation is, because every family, of course, is different. So I love that. And also it does maybe give you a sense of control back, because 2020 may feel like there's just so much that's out of our control. And I think that when you have that plan, it gives you a little bit of that sense of control back, which is important. So you mentioned there were 4 steps. So talk a little more about the second step, or the second part of it.
For sure. And as much as we can prepare and plan for disasters, you're absolutely right. I really like that analogy of, having a little bit more control. Disasters are ever changing. So this is why we want to continue to make ourselves and our households as ready as possible. So the second step, which I think is pretty important, all 4 of these steps are important, but the building a kit is one of the things that people don't necessarily realize, but it's important to do this ahead of time and get everyone in your family, everyone in your household involved. Children, you can make this a fun activity with children, or if family members, are coming over for something. This is something that you can talk about, hey, I watched this video with Rebecca and Arin, and, have you guys ever thought about these things? Now that we're spending a lot of time at home, some of us more than others, get the family involved and go around your house, make it a scavenger hunt, make it some type of fun activity. So in a kit, you want to have certain things, food, water, and you also, to add another layer to that, want to make sure that you have things that are COVID ready appropriate, I guess you would say. So you want to make sure that your family members have masks, that they have the personalized protective equipment that they need. Maybe if you're looking to stay in a particular area that maybe you won't have access to your medication or things like that, make sure you have personalized things in your kit that will help you and your family. So having things like a first aid kit, personalizing it to pets, small children, elderly relatives. So you want to include basic supplies, emergency supplies, and store it where everyone knows where it is. So it doesn't do us any good if I build the kit and then I put it in the back of the closet and no one knows where it is. So when we talked about that planning and training just a few seconds ago, that this is the part where you also want to incorporate, assign someone the responsibility to grab the kit. And you want to make sure that you have, we all live in the Chicagoland area, so make sure that you are prepared for winter, which is, just around the corner, unfortunately. So make sure that your car kit is ready as well, so you have emergency supplies for winter. Be prepared to kind of have a go kit to run out the door if you need to, in the size of a backpack or something like that, to have snacks, activities for small children. Don't forget those phone chargers that we need. Maybe you need to have something that will help personalize it for, if you have small children or if you have an elderly person in your home, things that maybe they have their own kit and then you have, a family member one. Make it a fun activity and just build the kits ahead of time so they're ready to go.
Okay, great advice there for sure. And again, it's just take that time. We're all so busy running around with work and school and virtual school. And so, but you do really have to take time and make that basic kit. Again, especially since winter's coming and we get some crazy storms here in Illinois. So it's so important there. What's the third step or the third recommendation?
So the third step would be to prepare for all types of disasters. Well, we're in September, so we've seen just about everything that I possibly thought I could see. Well, not everything, but close to everything that I could possibly thought I could see, from tornadoes to high storms. Now, there's more hurricanes hitting on the southern coast, so we get a lot of the rain. This area is prone to flooding, so you want to be prepared for all types of disasters. So not just natural disasters, but again, if the kids in your home are doing blended learning, you want to be prepared for any type of hazard disaster that can hit the school, when they're in school. And then you have to look at your plan as to how you're going to arrange them to get together, have a meeting point outside your plan. So prepare for disasters. Understanding the risks in your community is the best way for you to prepare for disasters. So, we might not have a hurricane here in the Chicagoland area or up in Lake County, but we sure as heck had some tornadoes a couple weeks ago. So know the risks that are in your area and prepare for those risks. Snow for sure, high heat in the summer, things like that. So the most important thing about preparing for disasters is knowing where to find the information. So we have a lot of local resources. The Lake County websites are really great for that. So if you just follow the pages, Lake County Health Department, Lake County Government, Lake County Emergency Management, of course, 211, the Facebook pages, turn to social media, follow the links, follow the chatter, and pay attention to the news and pay attention to your surroundings. So the Lake County Emergency Management Agency shares a lot of the National Weather Service updates. So when we get those National Weather Service updates, we can send those out. That's a trigger point for us to alert folks in the community. We also work with a group called Skywarn, who provide local weather information, and you can sign up on their websites to receive alerts. Same thing with the National Weather Service. So weather is a big one here, but taking the all hazards approach to prepare your family and yourself when you're on the go for disasters is the best way to be prepared.
Yeah, and it is great that the technology is there, like you said, to get those alerts. Now more than ever, we're connected to what's going on in the communities around us. And, we know the cold is going to come. But like you said, that tornado that came out of nowhere, some of us, we're used to hearing the test alarm that goes off once a month. That was maybe the first time in our life we had heard it for a real tornado. So kind of a scary situation. So again, good advice there. So the last recommendation has to do with dealing with our youngest residents, our children. So tell me about that.
Yeah, for sure. So teaching the youth about preparedness is the fourth theme in being prepared for all disasters. So you know, I know that I have young folks in my life that are much more with the technology than I think that I could ever be. So engaging them and showing them, you know, downloading the fema.gov app or going on ready.gov, which has some great resources, you know, even our website, Lake County EMA, looking for any type of technology out there that can help to educate our youth. I mean, some of the small children are, like I said, more with the technology than I am. So have kids become involved in planning, have them be a part of the kit, have them, you know, have them do a test drill, do a fake fire drill in your home, have a meeting point outside of your home, you know, make sure that younger folks or even high school age folks, college age kids may be away at schools in different states to make sure that you have out-of-state phone contact phone numbers to make sure that they're able to reach folks in the area. Ready.gov has lots of games and activities for kids. So there's also other groups that you can have our youth involved in, you know, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, there's CERT, which is a community emergency response team, Red Cross and other volunteer groups where folks can get involved to help better prepare themselves for emergencies. So there's lots of free things online, videos, YouTube. I know the fema.gov website has a few now COVID related videos on what you can do to prepare for disasters. So it's not, you know, somebody put the information up there 10 years ago. It's very updated. It's very up to date now.
Okay, wonderful. So just to summarize, we want to make that plan when a disaster strikes and really get organized and recognize there is a need to do this. Then we're going to build our kits. We're going to make sure we have our go kit and our go bag ready, prepare for disasters, and then really teach our youth and give them the confidence to know, hey, you know, your family has a plan and there's nothing to be scared about. We're going to stay calm and be together. Anything else that you'd want to add just about this month and about the awareness, Rebecca?
No, I think that what you said is a really good summary. Just plan for disasters before they happen, and the more planned you are, you might not be, you know, 100% prepared for that particular disaster, but just having a plan and having a kit, you're already 75, 80% of the game ahead, you know. So use your local resources to be a little bit better prepared as well. So maybe you've lived in Lake County your entire life and didn't know, you know, Lake County had a Facebook page, a website, you know, that type of things, or that sent out newsletters. So use the technology for your benefit, and then practice these things in, you know, times when there is not anything going on. I know we're still in the COVID response, but there's still a lot of things that we can do to educate ourselves and our households to be better prepared for disasters. And if you have any other questions or need to know how to do that, you know, our agency is always available to talk to folks.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing this important information. And thank you for the work that you have done just this year and that you do every day going forward. I have got to know you and enjoyed working with you and look forward to working with you in the future. So
Thank you, Arin, for having me. I feel the same.
thanks for watching at home. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.